Hi everyone, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make this super cool Virgo bracelet, and this was designed by Ocean Loomer on Instagram. I will have his name in the description box below, and I'll bring up his profile on Instagram. But first I wanted to show you the front and back sides of this design. It's a very cool design, I think. So this is the signature side, which is also the side that you loop. And then this is the back side, which is the side that you place, but I think both sides look great. So it's up to you which side you like to wear it on and what colors you use. I only use 3 in this bracelet. And then if you do want to make a full wrap, you will want 2 loom lengths. I'm only using 1 today for the sake of time in this tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Ocean Loomer's profile here on Instagram. So here we are, it's Ocean_Loomer. And he has created another original design, maybe a couple previously, which I have done a tutorial for, and on his Irene bracelet. And this is his profile here, so he posts some really nice photos with lots of nice color combinations, so I would definitely recommend checking out his account and giving him a follow. Like I said before, I'll have his name in the description box below, so you can check that out. And to make this bracelet today, you're going to need 5 bar pins aligned like so, with the ears pointing away from you to start. You will want to use 10 if you want a full wrap. You're also going to need a hook, a C-clip, and some bands. So let's go ahead and get started. I am using 4 colors today rather than just 3. But first thing we're going to be doing is placing the border, which is black. I will be using dark green today. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that off to the side. Starting on the center, you're going to go out to the left and to the right. And then you're going to go up into the outside, and up and to the outside. And then you're going to continue all the way down in a single chain, down to the rest of your loom, until you reach the second to last peg, and then I will show you how to close it off from there. It's been a while since I've actually done a tutorial on a loom design, mainly because I don't have as many opaque bands, or bands in general. So yeah, it's pretty nice to be doing a loom design tutorial. Alright, so once you reach the second to last peg, to close this off, you're going to go up into the center on both sides, and then to finish it, you're going to go, all the way across. There we go. Then once you have gone all the way across, go ahead and come back to the beginning of your loom. Next thing we're going to be doing is placing some zigzag bands, which in this bracelet back here is going to start, we're going to start with the blue. So I'm going to be using neon green for this, and obviously it is the blue on the front side. I'm going to be using neon green. So starting out here, what you're going to do is go up into the center, then you're going to go back out, and then what you're going to do is skip, going back out here, and you're going to go up to here, and go up into the center, and then back out. So you're pretty much skipping an entire section, but we will fill that in just a second. So again, skipping up to this peg, you're going to go up, and then back. So it's just kind of creating triangles instead of zigzags, just skipping a section in between, which we will, like I said before, fill in just a second. And then you will end right here, and I'm going to go ahead and do this back on the other side as well. Okay, so now what we're going to do once we've done this is get our next color for the zigzag, which I'm using black for. And in here it is the white on the edges, and the white here on the edges as well. And what you're going to do is just fill in those zigzag areas. So you do have to place all of the green bands first because of the way it's looped, but you'll just fill in that section. And you're going to do this all the way down until you reach the end of the loom. So, oops. Same thing on the right side, just filling in that section. Oops. Alright, so once you have finished this, your loom should look something like this, and then once you're done, go ahead and come back to the beginning of the loom. Next thing we're going to be doing is placing these black single chain bands in here. So there's the border, and then there's these single chains. Oops. And then in the back you can't really see them, but yeah, we're going to be placing those next. So I am using dark green again for this. So starting on the second and fifth peg, or the fourth peg, sorry, second and fourth, you're just going to do a single chain down the loom. So very simple here. Just go ahead and do this all the way to the end, and then I will be back. Or I'm not really going to cut off, but I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and you can follow along, and I'll show you what to do next. Alright, so once you have finished that, placing your single chains, go ahead and come back to the beginning of your loom. Next thing you're going to be doing is placing arrow shapes, which are the white bands in this bracelet, and on the back you can kind of see them there as well. So placing arrow shapes, I am using black. So starting here, where your single chain started, you're just going to go up into the center, and up into the center, and just continue that all the way down the loom. So you can think of it as an upside down V or as an arrow shape, whichever you prefer. And you're just going to go up to the next peg and place those two bands, and then continue doing that all the way to the end. And then once you have finished, you should end by going up to the top peg here. And once you're done that, go ahead and come back to the beginning. We're next going to place a V shape, and that is the black back here in the center. And you can't really see it on the front very well, but we will be placing that. And I am going to be using yellow. And what you're going to do is start on the center peg here, and you're going to go up and out to the left, and then up and out to the right. Going up to the next peg and just doing the same thing, up and out to the left and on to the right. I can't even talk today. And you're just going to continue doing that all the way down till you reach the end of the loom, and then we have one last layer to place and we can start looping. And last one. So once you have finished placing all of that, go ahead and come back to the beginning of the loom. Our last layer that we're going to be placing is the center ocean blue bands in here, which are cap bands. And then back here you can't see them very well because you pull them through the center, which I will show you how to do at the end of the tutorial as well. if your bands do happen to come kind of get twisted up. So I'm going to be using neon green for my cap bands, and what you're going to do is on the center of every peg you're just going to cap a band, and can't remember if we're going to do it to the top one. I don't think so. You're just going to cap a band, so you're not going to cap it to the top ones, just wherever these black bands, wherever they meet at a point, you're going to cap all of those pegs. So not the first one, but all of the rest of them, including the last one, or the very last peg. So you're just placing a simple cap band. You can do it on the loom or however you like to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and do mine on the loom here. And then for the last peg, what I'm going to do is actually cap it in my border color, which is dark green. So that's going to be your last cap band there. And then go ahead and turn your loom around so that the arrows are now pointing towards you, because once you're done that, you are finished placing and we can start looping. So what you're going to do is get your hook, and first thing that we're going to be doing is going underneath of the center cap band here, and you're going to go ahead and grab the V-shaped band, the top one. I'm going to pull that out to itself, and in here grab the next one, pull that out to itself, and then go back in and pull this border band here over to itself, and then here pull it over. Once you have done that, what you're going to go ahead and do is go inside of the border band here, and you're going to grab this yellow one, and instead of pulling it to itself, you're going to pull it straight forward, so on top of that peg where the black bands are, and up into here. And then what you're going to do is go up to this peg here, underneath of that neon green cap band, and underneath of the yellow. You're going to grab that top black, pull that out to itself, and then going inside of here, grabbing this yellow and pulling it straight forward, and straight forward. So you're going to go ahead and do that all the way down the loom, and I'll kind of do instructions a couple more times. So pull the black bands out to itself, and then the yellow bands will just go straight forward and straight forward, go underneath of the cap band, black bands go out to themselves, and then yellow bands just go straight forward. So go ahead and do this all the way down until you reach the end of your loom, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end, and then we'll move on to the next step. And then at the end here, it's just the same thing. Make sure that those bands don't pop off of the pegs. And then once you have done that, go ahead and push down the top couple bands and then come back to the beginning of your loom. Next thing we're going to be doing is looping these single chains, which are dark green, on this second and fourth peg here. So what you're going to do is go underneath of this kind of cap band, but it's not really a cap band because it's only one band. Anyway, you're going to take this green, and instead of pulling it to itself, you will pull it out to the side. And then again, going inside of this peg, grab the dark green, pull it out to the side. You're just going to pull it out to the border here. Same thing on the other side. grab this green band and pull it to the border, and then grab this green band and pull it to the border, and this green band to the border as well. So that's all you're doing with your single chain, and I'm going to go ahead and do this down the rest of my loom, and then I will show you how to loop the last couple parts, and then we will be done. Alright, so once you have finished that, you might want to go ahead and push down these dark green bands that you just looped out to the border. And then once you're done that, what we're going to be doing is looping some of our zigzags. So first we're going to be looping the neon green ones, and then we will loop the black ones. So first things that you're going to do is just go inside of this peg. Should be the second peg up. You're going to grab this neon green band and pull it back to itself. Grab this neon green band and pull it back to itself. Same thing on the other side, grabbing the top band. Whoops, I lost it. I'm going to go ahead and pull that back onto itself, and that back onto itself. We're going to skip the black for now, and we'll come back later. You're going to grab the next neon green and pull it to itself. So top one, bottom one. So all we're doing right now is looping the neon greens from inside. We will come back and loop the blacks afterwards, just because that's how the bracelet is looped. So we're going to go ahead and do this down the rest of the loom, and then I'll show you what to do next. Then once you have looped all of those neon green bands, go ahead and push them down so that you have room to loop your black bands. And then go ahead and come over to here and just do the same thing that we did with the neon green. Pull the black back to itself and back to itself. But you will want to make sure that it is on top of both neon green bands there. So go ahead and do that all the way down to reach the end of the loom, and make sure you do it on both sides, and then I will show you how to finish this bracelet off. Alright, once you have done that, you can either push down your black bands or just leave them as they are. I'm just going to leave mine. And what we're going to do now is loop the border, so going underneath of this cap band here. It's kind of a cap band, it's just your first border band. You're going to loop those next two border bands out to themselves. Oops, if I can get that over the peg. And then you're going to go down all the way to the bottom, grab that bottom border band and just pull it straight forward, all the way down until you reach the end of the loom. So this border looping is fairly simple. It's just a regular border. So I'm going to pull these last three bands off here, and then I'm going to continue looping. Then at the end I will show you how to fix your cap ends, because sometimes they can get kind of messy if you don't play with them afterwards. So yeah. When you get to the top, you're just going to pull this up into itself and then across into that top center peg. And then same thing on this side. I'm going to go ahead and continue loop this up to the top. Again, loop it up into the top and then up into the center. I'm going to go ahead and take a my border color band here, dark green, and I'm going to pull it through and reattach. And then you can just go ahead and pull this off with the loom. Just be careful not to snap any of your bands. And especially don't lose this band that is on your hook. That would be really bad too. Band got kind of stretched. And then once you have pulled it off, you can pull your bands straight. And then for the cap bands here, what you're just going to want to do is pull them through the center so that they kind of lay up and out in front. And if they are tucked through the back, like some of these were really tucked through the back, but if they are, you can always pull them through. So just go ahead and pull on all of those. And then you can pull on this and pull it off to the side so that they lay all nice and neat and beautifully. And that is your bracelet. So as you can see, this single chain here is yellow, and then the single chain back here is dark green. So that's kind of what happens with your band. So anyway, I don't know if I made a mistake in saying that, but anyway, that's going to do it for this tutorial. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe. I will have Ocean Loomer's name in the description box below, so make sure to check him out on Instagram and give him a follow for me. And that's all I'm going to have for this video, so I hope to see you next time.